himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so New York in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down in towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still slot chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tuesday night UkSimracers MX5 Season 4 of 2023, and we're already at round 4 at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by the one, the only Mr. Zach Sweeney, Sween Dog, Dog Boy, Sween Puppy, Puppy Boy, whatever you want to call him. He is alongside me here this evening as well. We can take a short look at the current scores on the doors. We'll start it off with the pros. John Sylvester out in front on 509 points with Jamie Ayres on 498 in second. Pete Van Gaal in third on 484, and then Tom Griffiths up one on 466. Ewan Braymount up one on 438. Miles Owens on 431. Then you got Steve Hefford on 413. Pete Newman in 8th, up 4 places on 334. Brian Holmes and Ralph Cullinan round out the top 10. Then you got Lee Deemer, Charles Kellerman, Martin Sampson, Ches Rizzo, Dan Hunt, Jono Johnson and Darryl McLean and Craig Jones both have not scored points this season. In the AM Championship, Arnold Chagnon is out in front with 391 points. Then you got Roger Morton in second on 258. Dan Lewis on 229. Darryl Wright on 229, up 1 place. Fiona Siddons down 1 on 220. Then you got Colin Sampson up 3 on 180 points. Andy Littler up 3 on 179. Then you got Alan Toon, Steve Hansford, Jason Haddington rounding out the top 10. Dale Benneson, Alexander Longo, Callum McPherson, Mick Barry, Anthony Jacobson and Jordan Syrit. In the team standings at the moment, it is Momo out in front on 1,730 points. And you got SOB Racing on 1,723. Results, Cloven Eye Racing Team 623, Air Smart Racing 588, Work Hard by Result 549, Orion Race Team 525, Optical Green in 7 on 418, Safeguard by Result on 399. And you got Pure Sims, Fix Auto Excite, Optical Red, Year 1 DOF Reality Sim Racing Studios. Now, it's the moment that everybody has been waiting for. The Prediction Cup. Out in front is Mr. Zach Sweeney on 697 points. Last week alone, he gained 40 points over everybody. So unfortunately, he is out in front. Phil across the pond in second on 624. Rio Subra on 586. And you got myself on 457. Colin Sampson, Lee Deemer, David Ayres and Mikey Pollard on 8th, 9th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Shadow on 9th, Top Skip Munchkin 10th, Handsome Stew in 11th, Carl Hardy and Tyes Van Gaal in 12th place. Oh, Mr. Sweeney, welcome into the booth, dear sir. We have just gone into qualifying of 15 minutes. How are you, young man?
You know, every single round last year, this was the point I said, oh, my evening was a little bit better before I saw them standings. Nah, I've just made my evening. I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm looking at them standings and I'm thinking I'm just gonna beat everyone, right? Especially Rhea. She is going down over the rest of the season. But in all seriousness, I'm not that big of whatever word you want to put into that blank space. I'm just looking forward to some MX5 action because, you know, there's a reason we get so hyped about the Predictions Cup. It's because we're passionate, because these guys give us good reason to be passionate. And they're taking on the mountain of Bathurst. It literally is a mountain to climb because you're going up, then you're going straight back down again. One of the most tough circuits in all of motorsport, not only just sim racing, all of motorsport, and really allowed Australian motorsports to sort of put themselves on the map with events held at Bathurst. It is sensational and a brilliant circuit. Going to be tough. It's a long one in these MX5s, but I want to see how these guys tackle it. I wonder if it'll be chaos or excitement, but I'm guessing a little bit of both.
I think you're right there as well. Good evening, Summer Farmer States, which I believe is Fiona Siddons. Austin Draper, welcome in. Thank you so much for your kind words earlier on as well. We need to get your logo into the default ones in the game. Well, if only we wish on that. And then said that, I mean, 1,419 people is a lot, but you should have 100k on how good you are. Thank you so much for that. Ria, Phil as well. David Ayres, Colin Sampson, thank you so much. I know there was a debate about the music. I have to turn the volume down every time, says David Ayres. Well, I can't help that one. And Ria, as normal, thank you so much for joining us. As I say, qualifying's going to be quite a long one, Mr. Zach. 2-minute 30 lap times we averagely saw in practice. You know, it's going to be a while before we see some times on the board.
It is, yeah. Also, obviously, we get... you know, we're going to have less laps as well throughout the duration of this qualifying session. When we go to a circuit like the Red Bull Ring or whatever, you can probably get 5 or 6 laps into a session before you're sort of towards the tail end of things. Here at Bathurst, you're probably looking, I mean, you do the outlap and already you've lost 3 minutes of the session. You do your first flyer. It depends if you're willing to do consecutive lap times, which I'm sure these guys probably are going to have to because they can't afford to do more than one outlap. But I'd say you're probably only going to get 2, 3, 4 maximum quick lap times around here, which puts a lot of pressure because it's a tough circuit to gain lap time at because it's so punishing. You know, you mess up one and you think, oh, it's fine, I'll do the next one. And then it's easy to mess up the next. And you're constantly putting pressure on yourself in order to go fast. But the moment you try and push the limits here at Bathurst, it says, nah, you're not doing that. You're in a barrier, and then you're back out on circuit. And of course, these guys have got to be careful because in the MX5s, it's not like most other championships where it's, oh, you can go back to the pit lane, you can repair your car. You crash, you're out. So while you are having to, you know, go to the absolute limit in qualifying and push as hard as you can, you're also having to be mindful of the fact that you still need to be in the qualifying session to set lap times.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. Ria, I promise I did not change the scores. Trust me, I don't like the fact that the help's out in front either. Unfortunately, last week alone, I had 2 DNFs in race 3 and race 4. You lost some points in race 4, I'm afraid, as well. So I promise you, I have not changed the scores. Just unfortunately, Zach gained a few more points.
Why would he do it for me? Why would you do it for me? You do it for yourself.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely would not do it for you. Never going to happen, Mr. Sweeney, I'm afraid.
Just sad.
I'm sure I got the last one. Yeah, I did. I'm sure I did. Hold on, I'm just checking something because maybe I've made a little bit of a boo-boo, but I don't think I have. Where are you? Oh, I did. Oh, I did. Oh,
Name's Parfitt.
Did make a boo-boo on Ria's score. Oh, so I need to add 32. Oh, hold on. Oh, I did make a mistake. I did. Oh dear. Okay, sack me now.
Well, we can't do that. We don't really have a board of directors to vote you out as CEO.
No, Rhea is, yeah, she has moved up 618. You lost 8 points to Zach last week. So,
oh, wait, so I still gained points?
No, you didn't gain points. Rhea gained points on you. So she's
that's fine. Only 8 points.
Yeah, it's still not too far.
Oh, no, I mean, sorry, one sec. Oh, no. 8 points, James. My life's ruined.
You watch it, you. Yes, but I still gained over.
She's gained 8 points.
Yes. All right. Oh. Yeah, Rhea did. Rhea scored 180. Zach got 188. Phil, you got 130. Mikey Pollard got 107. And me, I got, well, some less than that. We won't talk about it. Austin, DM me in Discord, mate. If you're in Discord, and I'll send you some that you've got. So send me some, DM me in Discord, and I'll get. I'll send you some. All right. You can't get the stuff. Stop it! I was trying to work it out on the fly, and no, you just stop. Just stop it. Right, the interesting thing at the moment about this, right, is that we're looking at qualifying. Ches Rizzo is out in front. Now, Pete Newman has not got a time on the board. Now, one of the things we haven't spoke about, and I think we need to, is in qualifying, if you tap the wall, you might get a 0x, partly because you've hit a wall. Even though it's a 0x, it still invalidates your score. So for Newman, I think he might have had a couple of 0x's there, Zach, and unfortunately has not got a score on the board. If anybody is reference what Zach is talking about, that was last night. Thank you very much. Right, Mr. Sweeney.
Yes. Essentially, obviously, how it works in iRacing, for those who are unfamiliar, under normal circumstances, you get incident points varying on different circumstances. You get 1x for going off track. In qualifying, obviously, that invalidates it. You get a 2x for spinning, and you get 4x if you make contact with another driver, and iRacing deems it to be sufficient enough. Also, as James says, in qualifying, basically the two you need to worry about in qualifying are the 0x for tapping a wall and the 1x for exceeding track limits. If you do that, you're in trouble, especially, as we say, at a circuit like Bathurst, because it's a long track. You're going to wait a long time to do another lap. You've not got a lot of time to waste in here. Already, we're into the second half of the session, and we're still yet to sort of see Pete Newman get to his absolute peak. I mean, he's putting lap time in now for 5th, but I don't really think that's where Pete Newman wants to be sat. And what it does is it basically just nudges the session forward. It says, okay, you've wasted the first half of it, so now your next lap is going to have to be your banker lap, and then the next lap after that is going to be your quick lap, and then the next lap after that is going to be your really quick lap, but oh wait, you can't do your really quick lap because everything's been bumped up forward. So it makes it a lot more difficult to be competitive, because you're having to drive under the limit in order to actually get a lap time in. And then by the time you are actually warmed up and confident to go for a quick lap, session's over, tough luck, mate. You're probably only, scraping into the top 5 or whatever it ends up being. So Bathurst is such a tough lap to qualify, but when you make it work, oh my word, it is one of the best circuits to hook up. You feel like Max Verstappen if you nail a lap at Bathurst, and then you cross the line, and if you can whack it on pole like Ches Rizzo has just done now, provisionally, you just feel on top of the world, and that you can't ever be beaten. But obviously that is one extreme. The other extreme is you tap a wall, get a 0x, and well, just want to give up and go to the back of the grid and just suffer in the pit of shame for tapping the wall. So it can go both ways. Ideally, you want to be on the end of that Ches Rizzo at the moment is sat on.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Bathurst is a circuit that generally I will start, if I do race, I will start at the back. I will just sit at the back and I will count about 20 seconds. I'll let them go up the road, let them crash in the mountain, and then I'll just come through. Because, to be honest, it's always going to happen here as well. Fiona Siddons is just about to go over the line. Is she going to have a time on the board? 2:36.421. Brian Holmes has got a purple as he's coming around the chase chicane here towards the end. One of the things as well, I did a little bit of testing earlier on with some of these cars while they were in practice early. Down the straight, the long Conrad straight without the draft, you top out at 130. miles an hour. With the draft, you top out at 135 miles an hour. So you gain 5 miles an hour by following somebody. Now, would you follow somebody in qualifying like we've got here with Steve Pepper and Pete Van Gaal?
Yes, 100%. Again, it comes down to trust with things like that. Obviously, you've got the Momo teammates. They're obviously working together, as they should. Things get a little bit more tricky for the sort of the independent cars of Tom Griffiths and sort of Pete Newman and such, because they don't have a teammate that they can immediately go to work with. So they sort of have to like work in between teams, but even then that's a bit of a grey area. Like, no offence to Sir Alan Toon, but you won't see Pete Newman using Sir Alan Toon as a consistent tow, because the way up for Pete Newman is, yeah, I'm going to gain 5 mile an hour down the straight, but am I going to lose half a second through the twisty stuff? So he has to constantly weigh it up as such. And you do put a lot of trust in your competitors every single time that you go for a tow, because right now, obviously, Steve Hefford, with his teammate just ahead of him, he is basically saying, okay, this is my turn in the tow, don't crash at the top of the hill, don't collect me in an instant, don't slow me down. That's the risk that you carry, but the reward is that you put in an amazing lap time. You could well put in an amazing lap time, and that definitely could be the difference, because it's a long Conrod straight, so also that back straight towards turn 2 as well. You can gain a lot of time by being in the slipstream. As it stands, there's only 5/100ths of a second between P1 and P2. If Tom Griffiths puts in a lap time that's in tow and Ches Rizzo doesn't, I know who I'm backing for pole. So it does make a big difference, but I'd say more so it's going to impact the race. It's going to keep everyone nice and close. So that is tough, and exactly what we mean about slapping the wall as well. But what I essentially mean is, don't beat yourself up too much for not getting a tow in the race, because you can in quali, because you can very much make up for it in the race by staying with a pack of 6 cars that are all going to be nose to tail anyway. So qualify well, but don't think it's the end of the world.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree with you there. And well, welcome in Jason Hannington. Hi James, hi Zach, and good luck, and even more good luck to Arnold Chagnonier. Of course, they are in the Smart Racing team. Jason has just returned from holiday, and hopefully he had a wonderful time while he was out there as well. So yeah, welcome back, Mr. Hannington. So there we go. 2 minutes remaining in quali. So many people in the pits. I wouldn't be looking at running a time if I crossed the line with 2 minutes to go. I think you are, well,
it's a waste of time.
Waste of time, because you're not going to make it. Alexander Longo is going to come round for his final lap, and at the moment it is Ches Rizzo with Tom Griffiths out in front, and you've got Charles Kellerman coming over the line as well in that 67 optical green machine, mixing it in with the AMs at the moment here. What's Kellerman going to be able to do? Is it going to be an improvement on the 233 there? No time for Charles Kellerman. What about Darren McLean, who's back this time as well? It's great to see Darren back on the grid in that red and white machine. Number 88 as he goes over the line. What do you do, Mr. McLean? Again, I can't see any times coming through here, Zach. I'm wondering if there's a lot of people that have hit that wall and unfortunately are not getting times, to be honest. Griffiths is still running around. I think he's going to have to settle on second here, Zach. I just don't think he's going to get near the end, basically, unless he's got nitrous down the back straight.
Yeah. Of course, there's no one on the track to give him a tow either, so it's hopeless. He's running just to get an extra half a lap. I mean, he's already done half a lap, but just to get that extra little bit of a lap in. Again, for anyone new to iRacing, I'm sure a lot of you probably aren't, but for those that potentially are, again, it's not like ACC, it's not like the F1 games, it's not like GT Sport. That time it ticks 0, session's done, dusted. It doesn't matter if you're about to put in the most blisteringly quick lap time you've ever seen in your life with purple sectors and a second quicker than Ches Rizzo for pole. iRacing doesn't really give a Scooby, to be honest. Time's at 0 and session's done. So you really have to time your laps well. Again, at a long circuit like Bathurst, even more so. But yeah, Tom Griffiths, he's not going to make it to the line, and P2 is the best he's going to muster. But in all fairness, that's not a bad position to be in at all, especially with that long run towards turn 2 on that first lap. He could well be leading the first lap.
Right, get your picks in. Start getting your picks in for race 1. Ches Rizzo out in front. Tom Griffiths second. Ewan Bramer third. Brian Holmes in fourth. Pete Van Gaal in fifth. Pete Newman sixth. Steve Hefford seventh. Dan on eighth. Miles Owens ninth. John Sylvester, Jamie Ayres and Martin Sampson rounds out the top 12. Lee Deemer in 13th. Ralph Cullen. Then you got leader of the AMs. Darrell Wright, Colin Sampson, Charles Kellerman in the mix as well. Alexander Longo, Roger Morton, Darrell McLean, Andy Littler, Fiona Siddon, Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford and Mick Barry. Zach, who are you going for? I am giving you about 5 seconds.
I'm going to go with Tom Griffiths.
Okay, who have we got there as well? Rhea's, I'm going to take Griffiths. Oh dear, Rhea's the same as Zach. I'm going to go with Bramer. I'm going to go with Ewan Bramer. So that's going to be my pick. Phil? Phil's going to have PVG. David Ayres. Pete Newman. Anyone else? Jason Haddington, you're on taxi duty. Are you going to join in and join the competition here? The lights are coming on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are off and up and running. Ches Rizzo did make away at the start there. Tom Griffiths, Ewan Bramer settles in as well for this first run from Hell's Corner up into Griffiths. Ewan Bramer's got a lot better on turn 1 than Tom Griffiths did out in front of him at the moment. And Tom Griffiths with Ches Rizzo leading the way. Ewan Bramer's looking racy. Then with a little bit of action further on as well. Pete Newman in the mix with Steve Efford, Pete Van Gaal and Dan Hunt. All mixing it up here as they go down the straight into Griffiths. They go for the first time. Who's going to get it all in this MX5? There's action at the front with Tom Griffiths and Ches Rizzo. Griffiths is going to run wide. That's going to allow Bramer the inside line as he runs up the hill into the cut-in at the moment. Ches Rizzo with Ewan Bramer, Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman's in the mix. He's just gone past Brian Holmes. Everybody at the moment away cleanly, Zach, for the first time round the cutting.
Yeah, nicely done, guys. Really clean stuff in the open lap here at Bathurst, which is exactly what we like to see. No major dramas as of yet. And, well, a great start from Pete Newman, by the way. So whoever's chose Pete Newman, fair play to you. Definitely a good option. He always picks his way through the carnage quite well, and now has got sight of the race lead. Brian Holmes, though, don't sleep on him. He will he will be there, 100%. If there's anything that goes wrong, he's going to be the one that picks up the pieces. Tom Griffiths, though, rookie mistake going to the outside of turn 2 here at Bathurst. It never works. And now he's on the comeback.
Yeah, there he is. He shouldn't have done that. Definitely should not have left that door open. He's all the way down in 5th at the moment, but we're going to have this first run down this Conrod straight for Ewan Bramer. He's got to stay with Ches Rizzo. He needs that 134 miles an hour. He needs that little bit of an extra draft here at a very hot track of 29 degrees. Here we go for the first run down. How is this going to work out here for some of these drivers? Ewan Bramer mixing it up. Brian Holmes, Tom Griffiths. Where has Pete Newman gone? Pete Newman has gone. Where has he gone? Where's the rum gone for Pete Newman? But he is not in here anymore. He is all the way down in 23rd place. Holmes makes the move past Ewan Bramer. Griffiths there as well, stays where he is. But what happened to... Oh, Newman spins it, coming out Forest Elbow. Oh, Pete Newman there has spun it, coming out Forest Elbow. It looks like it's more of a calamity on the way back as well with Lee Deemer here, Zach. And what a shame for Pete Newman.
Wow, that is a shame. We've got to change the lead as well. Brian Holmes picking his way past. Beautifully done. Ewan Bramer on the outside in the white and black machine as well. Ches Rizzo trying to hold firm on the inside going through turn number 1. Outside line for the SOB machine. He keeps his foot in. Very beautifully done. Brian Holmes leads from Bramer, Rizzo, Griffiths and Hefford now the top 5. A very chaotic opening lap, it must be said. And, well, we've still got... Well, we don't know, 5 or 6 more left to go.
Yeah, it's going to be so close. If we get this wrong, I am sorry, guys, but this is going to be mightily close on whether or not it's going to be 5 laps or 6 laps to go. Bramer's running the inside line there. Well done for him. Griffiths on the outside again. Just manages to cover off Dan Hunt as he's coming in through the Griffin's Bend. Into the cut-in we go. Is Steve Effort going to slip up the inside of Tom Griffiths. He's trying to hug that inside line. Him and Dan Hunt are side by side. Hunt's going to have to bump on the inside now as well. Hunt's going to make his way through. He's going to get it on that run through Quarry Corner. Turn 5 and 6 here, but once more out in front, it is Brian Holmes with E1 Bramer, Ches Rizzo, Tom Griffiths, then Dan Hunt, all not very far apart, and including Martin Sampson at the back here. The top 11, Zach, are separated by not a lot, 4.2 seconds at the moment, and the biggest gainers now on your left-hand side.
Yeah, I have to say, we've had some big gainers. I mean, Mick Barry up 7 places there in the AMS, 4th place running as it stands in the AM Plus, so he's looking very, very strong for a good finish. And, well, it speaks for itself, really. Top 11 cars all within sort of half a second of each other, and oh my goodness me, E1 Bramer, how on earth have you kept that car pointing the right way? I do not know. You absolute hero of car control. Unfortunately, it's going to be all in vain because Ches Rizzo is going to be going to the left-hand side, and Ewan Bramer, he's succumbed to the pressure.
There he did, coming out of Forest Elbow. He nearly Pete Newman did and spun it round. Unfortunately, Tom Griffiths has got a massive overspeed. You can see now he's flying past E1 Bramer. The Dutchman's just lost 2 places. Now we've got the Orion race team out in front with Ches Rizzo and Brian Holmes battling away. E1 Bramer's under pressure once more. Can Ches Rizzo get away? Can Dan Hunt make it up the inside? There's E1 Bramer. He's going to squeeze him against the outside as well. Round Murray's corner we go. Bramer's on the grass on the right hand side. Now it's going to be Hunt coming into Hell Corner in the inside. He's surely going to have this. He's surely going to have it. Is Bramer going to hang out? He doesn't. He looks for the better exit out of Hell's Corner there, Zach. And Bramer's settling in, but down 3 places. There's a big old slide for Jamie Ayres in the background.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse for Bramer though, and I think that is the main thing. The thing he's going to be grateful about is, yeah, he's lost a couple of places, but he can still see the lead as opposed to seeing a barrier. So, you know, not great, but lucky in an unlucky situation. Also some changes here. Tom Griffiths, not again. Learn from the first time. Dan Hunt as well. He's been off and on this season, but today he definitely is switched on. He's here and he's raring to go. He picks his way up past Ewan Bramer into 4th place. And thankfully Tom Griffiths learning from his mistakes and realising that turn 2 isn't the place to go around the outside.
No, because all you do is just open it up for everybody else, unfortunately, and then once they start coming through, it's like the floodgates have opened and you are swimming without armbands, I can tell you that much. You might as well put on the Speedos, hope for the best and see if you can avoid the sharks in Australia, because trust me, once you do that, you're in trouble. You've got to keep the inside line round turn 1. It's without a shadow of a doubt. These battles are far from over. What's Holmes going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to run through now? 11 and 12 into the dipper we go. The left-hander springing in against the wall. Look for the wall on the exit. Don't. Ooh. Maybe not that close, Zach. Maybe not that close.
Well, you have to push the limits. These guys, you know, that's how they earn their money. Well, yeah, well, some of them sometimes maybe earn their money with prizes and stuff, but essentially, in the metaphorical sense, that's how they earn their money as sim racers, right? You've got to push the limits. That is the bare minimum. If you don't, you're going to lose time, and if you lose time, you don't finish well. If you don't finish well, you don't win championships. So, get as close to the wall as you can. Sniff it. Get a good whiff, or maybe even give it a little nudge on the way past. Not too much, because then you'll find yourself, you know, facing the wrong way and definitely not finishing very well. But you have to push the limits. You have to use every inch, millimeter available of track space. And sometimes it's scary riding on board the cars, I will be honest. There's sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh, and I naturally like squint and look away from the screen. But you know full well that these guys are in control. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're in control. They know what they're doing. And here at Bathurst, especially going through Skyline, down through the S's as well, that is the, like, you see so well how, you know, you see so vividly how good these guys are, because they're able to just turn the car in so precise and get it stuck lap in, lap out, and that is what separates the good from the great. Dan Hunt, though, messing up the exit of Hell Corner, and Ewan Bramer pulls to the left-hand side.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We haven't seen it work for Tom Griffiths. We can't see it work in the outside line into turn 2. It's really not a good place for Ewan Bramer. Back off and just slot in behind him or run wide. Ches Rizzo goes on the defensive over Tom Griffiths. Bramer's going to try and hang out. Now he tucks back in, but all he's done at the moment is just basically run on that car for longer. Now here we go through the mountain. We're going to go up through the cutting, and we're going to do it on board with Dan Hunt. Here he goes once more, up over the bump on the right hand side. There it is, hugging the curb here. We're going to be going right through 5 and 6 quarry corner. Now it's off through this very fast section here, Zach, as they start dropping down the hill.
Yeah, this is the fun bit. Obviously, McPhillamy and such. This complex of corner is so fun. This, of course, this quick left-hander is McPhillamy Park, 4th gear. You just have to chuck the car in, and that little dip right on the apex of McPhillamy is where you get all the grip. And oh my goodness me, Daniel Hunt nearly getting a good look as, who's that? It's just the Ches Rizzo, I think, getting a little bit wrong. He just was able to hang on to it. And again, down the hill, you are on the absolute limit of grip. All the weight is on the front end, which means that if you turn, the car is so sensitive, and that rear end is so susceptible that it's able to move a little bit more freely because all the weight's on the front. It's so easy for the car to snap. So well done for Ches Rizzo. He trusted the car. He just listened to what it needed, brought it back on course, and was able to stay in contention. Of course, Brian Holmes is able to check away. If he can get out of slipstream range, oh, there we go. Is it raining? There we go. Tom Griffiths maybe needs a nice little view. I don't know. Well, he's whacked on his windscreen wipers and now might be whacking himself into 2nd place.
Yeah, he's going to have a massive overspeed over Ches Rizzo there as well. You've seen an onboard of Dan Hunt. You've seen the onboard of Tom Griffiths. You've seen Ches Rizzo just slide it in and take Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths' nose off. And it was gone. It looks like Samson's had an incident. Longo's had an incident and jumped straight back to the pits as well. Round Murray's we go. Ches Rizzo got that all wrong. He's going to put himself under pressure going into turn 1. Tom Griffiths on the inside with just about overlapping on Ches Rizzo. Coming down now. Bramer's lost another spot. Bramer unfortunately has gone backwards faster than he's gone forwards here, and he's struggling at the moment in that car. That car not doing the job, but Ewan Bramer all the way down into 6th place. Dan Hunt's now having a go at Ches Rizzo. The places are swapping thick and fast here, Zach. There's everybody moving around. We've still got only 4.4 second gap back to Colin Sampson in 10th. It's getting mightily close. This could go either way out of these 10 people over these next, well, we think 2 laps.
Yeah, we're going to imagine, because by the time they finish this one, it'll be 13, and then by the time they finish the next one, it will be the checkered flag. So yeah, should be 6 laps because they're not running at all underneath 2 minute 30. That was sublime from Steve Pfeffer. Just picked his way underneath. Of course, the run continues side by side with Ches Rizzo. If he can keep his foot, and that is going to be sensational from the Momo machine, but not quite enough as they rise up the hill over the crest. Tom Griffiths leading the small little train. They've got Dan Hunt about 7/10 of a second clear. Steve Pfeffer trying to get himself involved, but you just can't find any way through from essentially turn 2 on the inside all the way until you get to that chicane at the end of the circuit. Anywhere else, suicide.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be running too wide through here. Tom Griffiths gets it all wrong. So did Ches Rizzo there. He's not going to get that MX5 stopped. He is all over the place at the moment. He is like a drunk poodle on Jaffa cakes, I can tell you that much. Not an ideal scenario for Ches Rizzo. He got it wrong at the top of the mountain, and it affected him all the way down through the rest of the mountain there, Zach, as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know what Jaffa cakes he's having, but I want some. Definitely not finding them on the shelves of Tesco, but yeah, well, fair enough. There we go. 3 wide in the background as well, by the way. We've got John Sylvester, PVG and Ewan Bramer, I think, battling away. There is Sylvester, who, to be fair, as Rhea did point out, relative to his normal pace, I think he is fairly struggling here. Of course, he's able to get himself back into contention thanks to, obviously, the battling that's been going on, but pace-wise, it's not been the best day so far for Sylvester. We are going on to the final lap of this race. There's 2.5 minutes left to go. We've not even concluded this lap. 1 more to go here in Bathurst. Brian Holmes seems so set to take the win. Honestly, I'm not surprised. He's been mighty.
Yeah, he has. Up 3 places from the beginning. It is the final lap of the race. Ches Rizzo's in the wall. Ches Rizzo is in the wall right at the end, and so is Tom Griffiths. Oh, Ches and Tom Griffiths look like they may have had a coming together here. Griffiths, does he get it all wrong on his own? He does. Ches almost gets it wrong as well. Oh, Griffiths. Oh. Well, dearie me, dear sir, and unfortunately for Tom Griffiths, he's dropped down the order. Ewan Bramer, side by side with Martin Sampson. You can see one of the other SOB boys, that's John Sylvester, running side by side with, I believe that's Jamie Ayres and Pete Van Gaal. Brian Holmes is out in front. It's going to be a 7-lap race. Here we go now into the cutting. What's going to happen? Steve Everett, they're side by side in front as well. Sylvester and PBG. Sheesh, that was close. Hefford's going to try and run it too wide as well. What is going on here on the final lap?
Hefford, he is not shy here today. He is getting his elbows out. He saw a gap, he filled it. He knew full well that if Sylvester tried to put it on the outside there, he was finding a barrier very, very quickly. He just went, all right, cool, inside line, that's mine. Puts his foot in. Him and PVG carving their way through the carnage. And now we've got Ez, PVG and Hefford 3, 4 and 5, which is a very good sort of stronghold, I suppose, for Momo in terms of securing that podium place. Of course, Holmes and Hunt not separated by too much. If Hunt could go for a last lap dash, maybe he could seal the deal in terms of the win, but I would probably sort of bet on Brian Holmes at this stage. He's been in control pretty much since the second lap of this race. He has been insane. Now, of course, we get to settle the fight for the podium between PVG and Jamie Ayres. They're only separated by 1/10 of a second each. But still, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars nose to tail with each other on the final lap. This is telling of what could be an amazing evening of racing.
Yeah, Dan Hunt is closing. He can see him. He can smell him. He can almost figure him out and lick his helmet. Can Dan Hunt at the moment? He's that close. Is he going to get there as well? Is they going to come down into the final corner? Murray's is going to be. He's going to be turning left, and now Dan Hunt's got Brian Holmes under pressure. Is Hunt going to be able to do it? I think Holmes has buried that final corner. Brian Holmes over the line. Brian Holmes over the line for the win. It's going to be Sylvester. It's going to be a run down into the line. It is Sylvester over Hefford by a nose. Hefford, Bramer, Rizzo, Sampson, Griffiths. There are your 1, 2, 3. Wow. I think we can all confess that that was quite exciting.
Just a little bit, yes. Of course, we had some mistakes. Obviously, Pete Newman having his early on, Tom Griffiths late on with his tumble down the order. There were a couple of mishaps, but all in all, a chaotic race, one that kept us on our toes all the way through. Of course, only 6 laps long, but it's a 2.5 minute lap time, so what can we really expect? But Brian Holmes taking the victory, well deserved. He did everything that he needed to, but fair play to Hunt and to Ayres, both 6 and 8 places respectively. They drove amazing races as well.
Yeah, top 10 reverse. Okay, so a top 10 reverse here for race 2, and here are the results. Brian Holmes is your winner with Dan Hunt in second, Jamie Ayres third, Pete Van Gaal fourth, John Sylvester fifth, Steve Hefford sixth, Ewan Bramer seventh. Ches Rizzo will be in eighth with Martin Sampson and Tom Griffiths on the pole position. Ralph Cullinan, Darrell Wright, Roger Morton, Charles Kellerman, Pete Newman round out the top 15. Colin Sampson, Darren McLean and Fiona Siddons behind that one in 18th. Then you've got Lee Demas, Alan Toon, Steve Hansford, Mix Barry, Alexander Longo, Miles Owens and Andy Littler. Right. Well, if that's anything to go by, this is going to be an exciting evening as well. Race 2. I'm going to go with the obvious one there, as I haven't picked Griffiths. I'm going to go with Tom Griffiths. Mr. Sweeney?
I want to go for Ches Rizzo. I'm gonna go with Rizzo actually.
Rizzo. David Ayres has gone for Dan Hunt. Okay. Dan Hunt. Ria's got Rizzo. I swear she's just covering you off, Zach.
I think she is.
Phil, where you going?
She's not doing herself any favours.
No. No, definitely not. Well done to Mr. Holmes. Fantastic drive it was. Austin Very. Now, I'm going to presume there was a message to that somewhere in chat, but I've probably missed quite a lot. Phil, I'm going for Hunt. Okay. Hunt. Haddy, are you still here? Mr. Jason Haddington, are you still here? Shadow, who are you going for? If you're going to take part in race 2. There's a stream delay. Okay. I'm not delaying on the way out, by the way, just to let you know. There is a 20-second delay. I'll change to Sylvester, says...
First answers only.
I'll give over. Stop being a crybaby.
You wouldn't let me change.
Well, look, 2 minutes 36, that's fine. Yeah, you got a 20-second delay, but that's not because I put it on. It's just because YouTube have decided that it needs 20 seconds. Right. You're going to change. Okay, is Jason Hannington here? Is Austin going to get himself involved as well? You've got 2 minutes, guys. Let us know your picks for race 2. So far, I have got Griffiths, Zach's got Rizzo, David Ayres has got Hunt, Phil's got Hunt, and Ria's got Sylvester. So there you go. Right. Okay, so from a race 1 perspective, that was quite manic, right? I'm not going to lie. It was very, very busy. There was a lot going on, a lot of places changing down that front straight. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to stop, Zach. I think that's what we're in for all evening.
Yeah, I'd say either it's going to be very much on the up from here or very much on the down. Either we've peaked at race 1 or it was a precedent for things to come and they're just going to ramp up and up and up. I hope for the latter because, well, it's these guys. Reverse grids always throw a spanner into the works. We've got, obviously, Tom Griffiths and obviously, you know, Ches Rizzo up there as well, but thanks to, obviously, a little bit of a poor end to race 1. But I think there's definitely a lot on the table. A lot of potential here at Bathurst, which I mean, it depends. I would expect it from sort of a chaos and carnage perspective, but you wouldn't really see Bathurst as a race circuit, sort of for bringing out good races as sort of in terms of side-by-side action and things. But so far, it's actually proven quite well. Again, a testament to how good these MX5s are.
Absolutely. Ewan Braber, I did pick you, but you ended up going backwards faster than going forwards. So... you know, you can resent Zach Sweeney's comment, but you didn't do me any favours. Not gonna lie. So there we go. Here once more. Now, before I probably have clicked on the wrong Discord, was there anyone waiting for an interview? There wasn't. 25 seconds to go. Holmes, says Shadow. All right, Holmes. Shadow, you know you can't pick Holmes for race 3 and race 4, right? Just saying. Again, Carl Hardy, Mick Barry. Oh, blimey, Carl Hardy, you come in late. Mick Barry. Right. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's it. No more picks for race 2. No more. No more. I'm going to be strict. Right, we'll wait for the grid to come up. And here we go. We have got Tom Griffiths on pole, Martin Sampson second, Ches Rizzo third, Ewan Bramer fourth, Steve Hefford fifth, John Sylvester sixth, Pete Bangle seventh, Jamie Ayres eighth, Dan Hunt ninth, Brian Holmes, Ralph Cullinan and Darryl Wright round out the top 12. Then you've got Roger Morton, Charles Kellerman, Pete Newman, Colin Sanson, Darryl McLean, Fiona Siddons, Lee Deemer, Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford, Mick Barry, Alexander Longo, Miles Owens and Andy Littler. Sorry for speed reading, but they are already near enough on the grid, so I've had to kind of do that to make sure that we don't miss the start here as well. It gets very quick, very fast that they get onto the grid, apart from Pete Newman, who's taking a day off and he's just sitting in the pits like, meh, I'll be out when I'm ready, boys. But he is out and now. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is green, green, green here for race 2. PVG's got a banging start. Steve Hefford went absolutely nowhere. The only place Steve Hefford went is down 5 places at the end of the first corner for Hefford. It's all gone wrong. Rizzo now up below behind Samson. If Rizzo don't clear Samson going in through that section, through that mountain section, Tom Griffiths is going to be away with this. He will take this. Samson's point of view, squeeze. No, don't open up the inside. Don't open up the inside, Tom.
Oh my God.
No. They're 3 wide. Oh,
no.
Samson's round. Samson's round in turn 2. There was nowhere for Griffiths to go. He couldn't turn in. They sent it 3 wide, and for Tom Griffiths now is down in 6th place. Please don't wait. What is going on, Zach?
I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that was an audacious send to the inside from Ches Rizzo. I don't know why Tom Griffiths tried to turn in when he did. Should have just backed out, gave him the pace. Dan Hunt running side by side with him as well as they dip their way up and down through the undulating peak of the top of the mountain here, through Salmon Park, then in towards McPhillamy. Tom Griffiths has not had a good start at all again, leaving that inside open. He should have known that Ches Rizzo was at least going to have a look. Ewan Bramer did a perfect job of capitalising on that when he did. He saw the opportunity, he got himself underneath and just said, all right, this is mine. Now in control. John Sylvester gets his way past Ches Rizzo as Ches Rizzo has had an issue, but it's not the issue that we're looking at. It's Roger Morton that's facing the wrong way. What has happened?
Morton here.
Oh no, it's not even his fault. Oh no, it is. No, it is.
Watch.
Oh.
Oh, everybody else. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, dearie me. There was Morton, Kellerman, Deemer, Sanson, Darren McLean all involved in that as well. And it was Hansford, Longo, Owens, Littler. Wow. That's damaged some cars. I'm not going to lie here. Brian Holmes currently sitting in 8th place with Tom Griffiths in front of him.
I have to say, I'm surprised that more people didn't hit Roger Morton. Also, you've got Jamie Ayres trying to look to the inside of Ches Rizzo, Dan Hunt in the mix as well. But where he was parked and how many cars there were, the fact we didn't see more than just a little love tap is quite astonishing to me, in all fairness. Brian Holmes, by the way, on the back of Tom Griffiths. This is the fight for 7th. You've then got Jamie Ayres picking his way past Ches Rizzo. He's not really having a good battle. And oh, goodness me, it's calamity. It's straight into the side of Tom Griffiths. Dan Hunt's involved. Multiple more cars involved. Pete Newman involved. Rizzo was just... I don't know what happened between him and Jamie Ayres, but something did. Both of them out of the race. I think anyone involved in that collision were and are now out of the race.
Oh.
Wow.
So Rizzo's on the outside. Ayres comes across. And then boom. Boom, boom, boom. Hefford's in there as well. Newman's hard on the brakes. He's got nowhere to go. Who survived and who did not? That has been two big ones. We've got Rizzo, Ayres, Holmes, Cullinan, McLean, all in the pits. Ewan Bramer out in front with John Sylvester. Shadow, you're in the pits here as well. And now it is all up in the arms. Mr. Sweeney's in the pits as well. He's going to be on a DNF for this round. David Ayres, Dan Hunt, you managed to survive, I believe, so Dan Hunt is okay, but is sitting in 4th place. What is Tom Griffiths like? Well, he's just terminated. He has got no steering there either, and it could be a DNF for Tom Griffiths as well, as Steve Hansford goes round. Griffiths' car just looks like an absolute mess there, Zach, and that, we can safely say, was a little bit of a carnage.
Yes, I don't know. Yeah, carnage is, I suppose, is a noun. Yeah, fair enough. But
what's Jamie Ayres? I don't
Rizzo.
get this.
He just opens up the steering. He just takes the track away from him. And then it just causes that.
And that.
I mean,
and
yeah,
that.
and that, and that, and then that, yeah. It's just one thing after the other. I'll be honest, Jamie Ayres, he should have given him space.
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't get that.
Maybe Rizzo could have backed out. But why should he? Right?
Come on, he was alongside.
Exactly. He was alongside. He wouldn't have. There wouldn't have been contact. They wouldn't have had a crash if Rizzo wasn't alongside. Therefore, he warrants room. Jamie Ayres should have given him room.
To open it up and come that far across the track as well. So we've lost Rizzo, Ayres, Holmes, Cullinan, McLean, Deemer's out, Toon's out, Sampson's out, Morton's out. I don't really know what to say to this one. Barry's going in the pits as well, Carl Hardy. Sorry, can you just notice where Mr. Barry is? Yeah, he's going into the pit lane, so he will be out as well. Tom Griffiths is in the pit lane, so he's likely to be out as well. There's going to be a lot of DNFs for everyone in this one. I've got to be honest, but the front four still going at it. Are they actually going to get this finished? PBG's on the inside of Dan Hunt here. If he opens up the steering, he's going to run Hunt out into the wall. Hunt is literally in the wall. PBG did do what we said here. Steve Hefford having a go with Darrell Wright. I'm not sure how... I am sure Hefford lost his bumper.
Yeah. No, he didn't actually. Oh, what's happened here? There's more.
Bramer and Hunt. Oh, Ewan Bramer spins it up. He touches. Sylvester spins it up. He touches Bramer. Bramer goes into Hunt. And that is Dan Hunt and Ewan Bramer looking possibly like they could be out as well. What's Dan Hunt steering doing? Everything bar going straight. What's Ewan Bramer steering? He's already in the pits. This has... I don't really know what to say here, Zach. Look at the pits. Half the grid is in the pits. Griffiths, Barry, Bramer, Ayres, Holmes, Cullen and Toon, Rizzo, McLean, Dima, Sampson, Morton.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people. It's too many people. We've got 25 cars entered. We've got 13 still running on the lead lap. I mean, Tom Griffiths technically, but not really. So yeah, we've lost effectively half the grid, 2 incidents. It is not what we want to see, but it's easily happened. Again, Bathurst is not a wide circuit.
No.
By any means. So when something goes wrong, it goes really wrong, especially when there's an abundance of cars behind. There's not really much the people behind can do, and when it's small mistakes that turn themselves into big consequences, then it becomes even worse. But what we have got is a fight for lead. PVG fighting away with John Sylvester. Still half the race left to go. Bring it on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to get the full 7 in with all of that calamity and chaos. I've got to be honest. I think it's going to be a very close one here. I think we only might hit 6. Griffiths is back out on track. Tom Griffiths is out on track, so it means I haven't succeeded with a DNF yet, as of yet. Hefford's in the pits as well. I'm sure he lost his bumper. I am 100% sure that bumper on that Momo car come off.
He tapped his rear. He got through with his front, and then either Rizzo or Ayres rolled backwards and tapped him on the rear.
No, watch. I'm sure he did. I am positively sure Steve Evans' bumper comes off the front of his car. There.
See? Oh, fair enough. And then it comes back on. It was physics.
Good old physics. Miles Owens just cleared Colin Sampson there. We've got Darryl Wright leading the AMS at the moment. Griffiths is in 14th place. I believe he's still running. He's just going to go and take a position away from Steve Hefford, I believe, as they come over the line. Sylvester and Van Gaal still going at it here, Zach. 6 minutes remaining. We're only halfway through the lap. I think it's only going to be a 6-lap race.
Yeah, it will be. We were 7 minutes 40 when they crossed the line. Obviously, 7 minutes 30 is halfway, which would have been perfect for 7 laps. But, yeah, they haven't. They have to be running bang on 2-minute 30s every single lap for the entire race for 7 laps to happen. Their best lap times at the moment, no one's even under 31. So I don't think we're going to have at all a 7-lap race this evening, because the consistent lap times are 32s, high 32s, low 33s, which again will probably, it'll be 18 seconds slower than they need to be. So at some point they need to find quite a lot of time if they want to have an extra lap, which, to be fair, I wouldn't get it over and done with, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sylvester wants as many laps as he can to get past that PVG, but why extend your suffering? Just get it done with.
Yeah, but I'd slow down. Put it in the bits. There you go as well. But it's been a bit of a hectic one. I think Steve Hefford has returned. Steve Hansford at a moment and is back in the pits as well. But it is the battle of the front. It's battles of the SOB. It's battles of the Momo. The consequences for the team championship is massive. Are they going to be able to get this? Who's going to get this as well? If PVG opens up that inside line, John Sylvester's going to go through. Is he going to be able to close it off? Can he put on the chub locks? Can he put on the padlocks? Can he put on any shape of locks, including anything else he wants to put on that door? Has he put the nails in the wood? Pete Van Gaal on the defense going into turn 1. He has done it just by positioning his car, Zach, in the middle of the track. That was it. That's all he did.
That's all you need to do. That is all you need to do. Just enough to say, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Just don't.
And then the driver behind's like, yeah, fair enough, mate. Oh, I'll just leave it to it. If you leave the door open, i.e. Tom Griffiths, then you're going to get overtaken. If you just move it over enough, just to cover off your bases, just to make the driver think, yeah, that gap on the inside, I mean, it's there, but by the time I fill it and get onto the brakes, is there going to be contact? Is it worth it? Not really here at Bathurst. Things can go wrong too quickly. Boom, you're in the corner. Boom, you've got your position saved, right? So PVG, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Sylvester, he needs to get creative with the attack if he obviously wants to win this race, which of course he does. They've not exactly got a worry about the drivers behind. They've got 8.5 seconds back to Daniel Hunt. As again with the windscreen wipers. Why? What is going on?
I don't know. Maybe he's He's clearing off the bugs.
Maybe there's a kangaroo stuck on his windscreen. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Not.
Possibly. So we've got DNFs for Zach, DNF for Shadow, DNF for Carl Hardy. I am going to get points, but very minimal, being down in 13th place at the moment here as well. Alexander Longo is fighting out. He's chasing down Colin Sampson as they come round that very tricky Forest Elbow, that downhill braking zone, and now he's got to get it hooked up. I'll keep an eye on the leaders. The gap's down to about 5 tenths at the moment. Sylvester sitting in second place, 6 tenths. Here goes Longo. Is going to be all over and done for him. Job done. What's happening at the front? I think it's going to be PVG in the pros this time around. If you picked PVG, good job. And it is PVG and Sylvester in second place with Dan Hunt in third as they guys go over the line. Fiona Siddons here as well. Longo. Oh, they're not over the line. They got one more lap.
They got one more lap. I was going to say, James.
They got one more lap. Sorry.
Of course they do. Are you alright? You had your Weetabix this morning?
Yeah, I have. I've already wrote down the standings here. Sorry. One more lap. One more lap. Did I miss a big crash? Well, you missed 2, lad. That's why half the grid are in the pits there. Hansford, Bramer, Toon, Barriers, Holmes, Cullen and Rizzo, McLean, Deemer, Sampson and Morton all kicked off 1. We can show you the other one. This is what happened with Ches Rizzo and Jamie Ayres. So Jamie Ayres here goes across the track, closes them off into the wall, into the track. Everybody gets piled up, and there is that one. That's one of the incidents. Where is the Roger Morton? Or was that race 1? There was another big one, wasn't there?
Roger Morton was this one?
It was this one, wasn't it? And and here is the Roger Morton incident as well that does end up wrapping up quite a few people. Steve Hefford, I would say there was a gentle little nudge there, but Morton comes back into the middle of the track. Everybody gets caught up, and it is just basically one big car park. So that was both of the incidents that caused the biggest wrecks, but we're on the final lap, the final corner, with Van Gore and Sylvester still keeping it going.
Yeah, this will be the final lap. Yeah, we'll be 13. Yeah, we'll be fine. 20 seconds left. They've still got this, the chicane, the final corner, and the run to the line to do. PVG taking some very desperate measures in order to cover off that lead. You can see swerving all over the place, trying to minimise the hole in the air that he's punching for John Sylvester. But look at this. It is just a different league that John Sylvester, he gets a rocket ship in the back of his car, pulls into the inside of the King, gives him the outside for the chicane. He's got to be brave on the brakes though, but he's slightly earlier because of that overspeed. PVG retakes the lead. They could be side by side on that run to the line. A good effort from John Sylvester, but I think this is Van Goors for the win.
Yeah, PVG looks like final lap, final corner. He is going to do it this time as well, so that was completely my mistake last time out, guys. I do apologise. PVG is going to come over the line. He's going to take that win here once more. Darrell Wright, I believe, is going to get it in the AMs as well. Great job from Darrell Wright with Sansom, who's got 2 podiums out of 2 this evening already. Oh, Siddons has just taken Sam's. Oh, no. Oh.
Oh. That's not very good.
That's not going to work. So, Colin Sampson, Sansom.
Well, Well,
I'm not really
it happened.
That happened, so that's a release for
Moving on.
Longo and Littler to come over the line. Hefford and Griffiths are still running. There's Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths, lightweight MX5, running around Forest Elbow. Talk Roger, all I know. Yeah, you clearly did, Jason Haddington, as he goes and stacks it, going through the mountain section there as well. Interesting, it was showing over 140 when they went over the line. Yeah, that was my fault. I did say earlier on, I did apologise and say that was my fault, Ria, because I thought it was the final lap, but it wasn't. So either way, it still ended up in the same order.
She means that the last lap shouldn't have been the last lap. It should have been the next lap that was the last lap, because when they started what was the final lap, there was still 1 minute and 40 left on the timing tower.
Yeah, but they're not.
But on our live timing, it was less than that.
Oh,
so I think there's a discrepancy.
All right, well, hopefully it will sort itself out. We do obviously have to load into the next session as well, guys, so probably be aware it may correct itself on that one, but we are going to bring you up the results soon as Tom Griffiths goes over the line in his very lightweight MX5 there. So great job from him. But here are the standings from race 3. Race 2, PVG is your winner. John Sylvester not far behind. Dan Hunt in third. Then you got Darryl Wright winning the AMs with Miles Owens in 5th. Alexander Longo in 6th. Pete Newman 7th. And Andy Littler, Longo and Wright round out the AM podium. Then Fiona Siddons in 9th. Charles Kellerman, Steve Everett, Tom Griffiths, Colin Sampson, Steve Hansford. All didn't finish. Ewan Bramer didn't. Sir Alan Toon, Mick Barry, Brian Holmes, all in the pits. Jamie Ayres, Ralph Cullinan, Ches Rizzo, Darren McLean, Martin Sampson, Roger Morton, and Lee Deemer all DNF'd. So there you go. Right, guys, that's going to bring us now to that time of the evening here as well. We're just going to have a quick break as we change over sessions. And as always, we'll see you after this break. Okay, guys, we are back for the random race 3. I am still James Parfitt. I'm still joined in the booth with Zach Sweeney. We haven't got long left here after practice. Phil, get your picks in. I'll say it again to be safe is Hunt. I got that one as well. So thank you so much. So Ria's got Hunt. Zach's got Newman. I've got Holmes. Phil's got Griffiths. Anyone else want to join in? Please get your picks in now. Because trust me, by the time we grid up, it's all done and dusted. Well, I don't really know what to say about the first two, Zach, to be honest. The second one... Well, we said it was all or nothing, and it kind of was all, wasn't it? 100%, and that was it.
Yeah, they didn't really stop as such. It was just constant, especially race 2. I mean, race 1 was a good race. Race 2, I'd argue, wasn't in the sort of in the aspect of we only saw the bad bits, but, well, what's in store for race 3? Let's find out.
Yeah, Martin Sampson is on pole, Chaz Rizzo in second. Then we got Lee Deemer, Fiona Siddons, Colin Sampson, Roger Morton, Darrell Wright, Ewan Bramer, Dan Hunt, John Sylvester, Pete Newman, and Brian Holmes. Then you got Silent Toon, PVG, Andy Littler, Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths, Darren McLean, Steve Hansford, Mick Barry. Finishing off, Hefford, Kellerman, Longo. They are on the grid. They are ready to go. It is Martin Sampson here in first place. They're going to be up and running, and it's going to be green there as well, as we are away with Martin Sampson once more. Sylvester on the pick for David Ayres, and it is currently Martin Sampson leading the way with Ches Rizzo. Oh, Deemer's gone round. Deemer's gone round right at the beginning of the race. No, it was Colin Sampson. Colin Sampson's gone round. Unfortunately, that's a release to Martin Sampson with Rizzo, Deemer, Siddons, Morton, and Bramer all battling away here, Zach. At the moment, apart from Colin Sampson and Mick Barry, everybody got away cleanly.
Yeah, nicely done. Everyone involved in the race start doing a really nice job, of course, as we say, with a couple of people at the back, but all in all, a decent start. Exactly what we like to see in a good start, it must be said, from Martin Sampson. Ches Rizzo and Lee Deemer not doing too bad of a job either. Also look out for that fight for the AM win as well with Fiona Siddons and Roger Morton. No. Martin Sampson, he's looped it around by himself.
No, he didn't.
Did he not? Was he tapped?
Yeah. Don't try and turn it, bud. Don't try. Just sit and wait.
Sit, stay.
Good dog. Good puppy.
Trust me, I'm Sweeney dog. I know how to speak dog. Stay.
Watch. I got a funny feeling Rizzo helps him here.
It didn't look like it. I know he does, yeah.
Oh, just. I think there was slight little bit of contact there as well. Morton's moved his way up into fourth. Siddons in third. Great job from Fiona Siddons there, and well done to her. Hunt, Newman, Bramer. It looks like there's possibly been a loss of position for Darrell Wright. He's just lost 4 places in one go. Roger Morton sweeps around the outside in the mountain section there as well. I've got a funny feeling there's another one going off. It is Darrell Wright. He has had an incident. Longo and McLean are swapping. Rizzo's out in front. Whoa! Siddons into the wall. Siddons into the wall in a big way. Oh, it's all going up again in race 3.
It is. It's all kicking off. It's from 0 to 100 really quick, and then 100 to 150 even more. These guys are relentless. You've got Tom Griffiths fighting away with PVG. Steve Hefford not a million miles away, just in behind as well. But they don't take a chill pill, these guys. They just need to rein it in a little bit. It's too frantic, and obviously they all see an opportunity and want to capitalize on it. But guys, just rein it in a little bit. You've got loads of time in this race. Just breathe, chill, work through it bit by bit. It's not one on the first lap as Roger Morton has a big snap of oversteer. It's caused a little bit of a conundrum in the background. Ewan Bramer's off the road, loses the place to Holmes and PVG, who himself is actually picking up some places. Here comes John Sylvester on the outside of Roger Morton. He forces the AM leader to concede. But, like I say, these guys are just in overdrive. Just bring it down to 90%.
Go on, Rizzo, says Shadow here as well. I presume that would have been your pick there, Shadow, if you got it in quick enough. But as we go up now for lap 2, 11.5 minutes, Newman and Hunt running side by side into turn 1. It never works out for the person on the outside. Hunt just slots in right behind him. Morton trying to run that outside line. He's going to get tapped from PVG. Oh, Morton shut the door on PVG, and Holmes gains another position, up 5 already.
Wow, really impressive stuff. I have to say, these guys not doing too bad. I mean, Pete Newman's up 8, Daniel Hunt's up 5, so is John Sylvester. As you say, Brian Holmes, PVG, Tom Griffiths up 8, Steve Peppett's up 11, Miles Owens is up 12. Like, we've got some huge gainers in the opening phase of this race, so fair play, guys. Again, really respect it. These are, you know, they're doing it the right way. They're just going, okay, there's a crash, I'm just going to get my way through, be consistent, keep my nose clean. If there's a gap, I'll go for it, sort of thing. But they're not doing anything rash. They're not doing anything silly. They're just driving within the confines of the circuit and capitalizing on other people's mistakes. So, yeah, that's how it should be done. And I'm sure there's more to come. So definitely watch this space for these guys because, well, they've still got... there are 2/3 of this race left to go, which is a lot of time. You know, still a few laps and still plenty of opportunities for them to move forward even more. Ches Rizzo, though, he's building up a good gap. 2.5 seconds clear of Lee Diemer. If he can just continue to increase that bit by bit, Pete Newman's going to have a hard job ahead of him if he wants to get himself, you know, into the lead of the race.
Here comes Brian Holmes. He's going to run the outside of Roger Morton. It's going to be job done, I think, for Brian Holmes here. Is he going to be able to get him down into the chase? PVG is pushing Holmes along. He takes the nose off Morton. PVG is going to be looking at the inside, going into the chase. He's got to get the car stopped. Oh, Holmes did not get it stopped there very well. There was action at the front. Diemer running side by side with Newman, going around the final corner into Murray's they go. Lee Diemer trying to make them way through as well. Oh, Newman's on the grass. Newman's on the grass sack, and it's all going off here once more with all of these guys fighting out.
Yeah, these guys, they don't give an inch. Dan Hunt on the inside of Newman, and then you've obviously got Lee Diemer leading this train, backing everyone up, keeping them all in touch with each other. 4 cars, you've got Diemer from Hunt, Newman and Sylvester, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, all in a very heated fight, and I am loving this. What it is doing is allowing Ches Rizzo to sort of build a gap and get away, so the longer that Diemer can keep these guys busy, the more chance that Ches Rizzo has of winning. Dan Hunt going to the outside of turn 2. Don't do it, don't do it. Pete Newman is on the scene, but thankfully Dan Hunt is able to tuck back in before the consequences arise. That is the gap. That long of silence between the gap of Ches Rizzo crossing the line and, of course, Dan Hunt and Lee Diemer fighting through the long left-hander. Fair play, Dan Hunt. He's kept his foot in. Great respect.
Dan Hunt makes it into 2nd place. Diemer's now down into 3rd. He's got the looming Pete Newman. Then we've got Sylvester. Then we've got Holmes, Van Gaal and Griffiths all closing up on this pack as well. It's going to be almost a 7-car fight. Newman's on the grass. He went side by side with Diemer at the top of the mountain. Not an ideal scenario. Now pops him all the way back into the hands of Sylvester. Diemer's got a massive overspeed. He's not going to go for it through there. Surely, Lee Diemer, don't do that. He doesn't do it. He follows Dan Hunt through that mountain section. But boy, oh boy, Diemer had a run.
Oh, he did. He looked very menacing. And to be fair, he still could. I'll be honest. He's just quick. He's there. And while he is a very aggressive driver, he is a very good one. And if he could launch a counterattack on Dan Hunt, that would be obviously ideal for Pete Newman. But with this long Conrod straight towards the chase, I don't think he's going to keep this podium place for very long. Pete Newman makes him his 16th victim so far this race. To be fair to Ches Rizzo, he's also done an amazing job of fighting his way through the carnage. We're halfway through race number 3 already. Pete Newman, he's flying forwards, but him and Dan Hunt have got a task ahead of him. There is also John Sylvester getting onto the scene with Lee Diemer, who's late on the brakes, covers him off, nearly dips a wheel onto the grass, but hangs onto it quite nicely. Newman is now free to catch Hunt, who is free to catch Rizzo. They need to work together if they want to win.
It's a big ass 4 seconds back, though. That's the problem. They're 4 seconds away from Ches Rizzo. He's breaking into the 2:32.02s. 2:32.12, 2:32.76. It's really going to be this next lap that's going to give us a rough idea whether or not they're going to get them here, Zach. I don't think they are. I think Rizzo, if he can keep in that 2:32 mark, he might be all right for the duration of this race here because of how much of a lead he built up right at the beginning.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I think he's going to be able to hang on to this. He just has to keep it pointing the right way for the second half of this race. You've got John Sylvester on the outside of Lee Diemer going into turn number 2. It's going to be difficult to make that one work, but Diemer is susceptible to braking late into corners. So use that to your advantage. But also, you've got to be careful because you've got Holmes, Van Gaal, Griffiths and Hefford all queuing up waiting for their chance to capitalise as well. So it makes it a little bit more difficult when you're trying to set up a cutback, because naturally when you want to set up a cutback, you turn in later and cut in sharper. But the later you turn, the longer that gap on the inside is open for someone to fill. So it's difficult to be in John Sylvester's situation at this point, but if he wants to find his way into fourth place, he's going to have to find a way through. At some point, he can't keep putting it off forever.
Yeah, he's losing 1.3 seconds to Newman now as well, so he's got to try and get past Diemer. He's not going to do it through this section. It's got to be a run down the Conrad. Newman coming in through the mountain section now as we speak. He's dropping down there as well. Lee Diemer, through we go. The dipper now on to Forest Elbow with Pete Newman in front of us in Lee Diemer. He's now got Hunt. This is going to be Newman's opportunity. What's going to happen further back? Everybody made it through. Steve Hefford did a great job there as well. Now John Sylvester is running side by side with Brian Holmes. He's got a short run out of the Forest Elbow. I think John Sylvester got it all wrong. He slots in behind Brian Holmes and PVG behind him here as well. PVG is going to have a massive overspeed. Is he going to be able to get Brian Holmes going down into the chase as well? PVG on the inside. John Sylvester takes his nose off. Holmes goes defensive. He goes on the brakes late for Lee Diemer. Diemer's now the cork in the bottle. He's got to try and stop it now because Sylvester's coming, but Holmes has made it through, and now he's got a 2-second gap to try and catch up to Newman.
Yeah, he's going to have to build that, bridge that, I should say, more so. It's going to be tough, but I suppose with the pace that Brian Holmes has had, he's got all the chances of being able to do it. I don't doubt that he could, but Lee Diemer immediately on the counter-attack, pulling to the left-hand side as they run their way towards turn number 1. It's Diemer on the inside, Holmes stuck on the outside, and then the space is filled by PVG as well, which sort of compromises Holmes' run and doesn't really give him the best of exits. He's going to have to be hoping that Diemer gives him the favourable line in terms of the slipstream and stays directly ahead of the Orion Racing driver, but PVG with that run on the outside could be menacing for Holmes and just backtracking his progress, meaning it's going to be even tougher for him to get involved in that fight for second.
Diemer's going to open up the door. That's going to allow Holmes to come through. That outside line hasn't worked for anyone here this evening. You are going to have the inside, though, if you can keep the inside for the left-hander of the cutting. Pete Newman and Lee Diemer running side by side into the cutting. Diemer sends it in late. PVG's going to look for an exit now. Diemer can possibly take his nose off. He can't. They're side by side up through 5 and 6 at the moment here. Is this going to work out? Is PVG going to hold it? Don't squeeze him against the wall. Diemer's still there, but I think PVG put him against the wall. Over the curb we go. Coming into McPhillamy Park. At the top of the mountain, Diemer's not giving up. Griffiths is in there as well. Steve Efford, PVG, Brian Holmes. Then we got Newman, Hunt. Rizzo gap's down to 2.9 at the moment. I think there's only going to be one more lap here. I got a funny feeling Rizzo's is not going to get that 7th lap here, Zach. It could only be one more before the end of the race.
Yeah, it will be. His best lap time is a 2:31, which means every single lap apart from that has been above the 2:30 mark required to make it a 7-lap race. So, Jez Rizzo, it's going to be a 6-lap race, which, to be fair, he's going to be glad about. He is going to love the fact there's only one lap left after this one, because he's got Dan Hunt and Pete Newman chasing after him, which are two drivers I wouldn't really want to be chasing after me, in all fairness. The last laps, 4 tenths quicker from Dan Hunt and 7 tenths quicker from Pete Newman, who is looking menacing in the rearview mirror of Hunt. Is he going to go for the move, or are they working together? Have they got that mutual agreement? I think they do. They can see the greater good. They can see the overarching objective here. 3 seconds onto the penultimate lap of this race. It's doable. They can see him. He's there. They just need to be consistent. They need to be quick and not slow each other down. It's doable, as I say. It just takes a lot of hard work. It's 100%. They can do it. They can do it. Let's see what their next round of lap times are. Yeah, another quickest lap from Dan Hunt. It's 8 tenths quicker that lap alone.
It's not going to be enough.
How much they gain in slipstream? How much they gain in slipstream, though? As soon as they're in, within a second, realistically, they only need to gain 1.5 seconds. Slipstream does the rest for them.
I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Newman needs to be pushing Dan Hunt almost along to get that gap down. It is coming down here at the moment. Don't challenge him, Pete. You're going to be in trouble. You're not going to make it. He pushed Dan Hunt into turn 1 there as well. Brian Holmes is in the background. He's got PVG for company as he's coming in as well. Tom Griffiths has cleared Dima. Dima's now got Hefford Sylvester behind him. Then you got Ewan Bramer going side by side with Jamie Ayres around turn 1, which we haven't seen work. Here's the Dutchman going to make it work this time, coming into the cutting now. They're running up side by side at the moment here once more. Bramer does make it work. He does make it work. They've dropped back. Newman's gone past Hunt. Oh, that's the worst thing that they could do.
Yeah.
Oh, Hunt hit the wall.
Nah, it's over now.
Yep. I think this is going to be Ches Rizzo's. I think it is. What's going to happen here, though? Brian Holmes, PVG through the mountain for the final time. Tom Griffiths, Lee Dima also in there as well. Holmes from the Orion race team. Hunt, Newman in the second and third place. Then you've got Ches Rizzo, who I believe is just going to do it here as well. Holmes gets a good line out. Is it going to be strong enough to hold it back from PVG? Here he comes. If I was Holmes, I would let him go early and then try and pull him back here as well. That's what I would do personally, but I'm not in the race car. It is Brian Holmes. It is Pete Van Gaal. The Dutchman versus the Englishman. Under the bridge they go now for the final time. Ches Rizzo's going to go over the line. He's going to take first place. He goes into the chase. Does Rizzo on that run down into Murray's. Holmes and PVG. PVG's got to stick it in late. Brian Holmes has gone late on the brakes. He's gone late on the brakes. Tom Griffiths is coming as well. Is PVG going to lose this on the way down to the line? Rizzo has come over the line. He is going to win. What's happening further back? Griffiths is going to try and run the outside of Holmes as well. It's going to be a run down into the line. Brian Holmes, PVG. Oh. Oh.
What a race.
That ending. I swear to God. Unbelievable. Rizzo held on, Newman in second and Hunt in third. Wow. In the arms, it was Sansom. Sansom's got his third podium in a row here. Well done to Colin Sampson. And then you got Darrell Wright and Tooney. Unbelievable. Unbelievable action here this evening as well. We declare it's the best MX5 on iRacing. I don't think anybody can argue here as well. I think it is an absolute stellar league. And we've still got one more to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Race 4. The mysterious race 4. Either 100 or 0. I'm putting it in early, by the way. I'm going for Dan Hunt.
Dan Hunt.
But yeah.
Okay, Zach Sweeney for Dan Hunt.
I've been saving him. And
who have I not picked? So I've had Bramer, Griffiths,
Sir Alan Toon.
Holmes.
You've not picked Sir Alan Toon?
I don't want Sir Alan Toon.
Bit out of order.
No, I love Tooney, but it's just not on my radar this evening. Here is your results. Rizzo in first, Newman second, Hunt in third. Then you got Holmes, Van Gaal, Griffiths, Dima, Hefford, Sylvester, Ayres rounds out the top 10. Then you got Ewan Bramer, Miles Owens, Ralph Cullinan, Colin Sampson, Charles Kellerman, Darrell Wright, Sir Alan Toon and Martin Sampson. Andy Littler, Roger Morton, Mick Barry, Fiona Siddons, and you've lost Logo, McLean and Hansford here. Top 9 reverse. I'll leave it there for a minute as well as I write down. Oh, Sylvester's had a bit of an up and down night though, hasn't he?
Yes. Yes.
And Jamie Ayres get a win? Do you know what?
No. Well, it's top 9 anyway. He's 10th.
I'm going to go with Steve Hefford. David Ayres, young Mr. Holmes, says David Ayres. So Ayres has gone Holmes. Phil and Rio, who are you going for race 4? Shadow, who are you going for? No, you can't have Holmes. I know you can't have Rizzo. Right, you've got 333. Phil's going for Hefford. You can hear Ria in the background just trying to work it all out with the maths, isn't she? Trying to do the fastest lap against against the offset, against this, against that. She's so determined to have a beat you that she's like trying to work it all out. Come on, Ria Raccoon, who are you going for? I didn't vote Rizzo. No, you haven't. I posted mine above Ayres.
Going Holmes. Oh, yes, she is.
So, okay, you're going Holmes.
Calculating all the numbers. She's crunching them, carrying the one. How can I beat Zach?
Shadow, you're going for Rizzo. Okay. Right.
No. What? Oh, I did. What?
I didn't vote Rizzo, so I'm going to presume he's going for Rizzo this time around.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I just wish I'd just say I'm going to vote for, and that's it. Give me the name.
That's the format. It can't be counted unless you say I am going to vote for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
Race 4.
I'm just lost at the moment with the amount of epic racing we've got. 2 minutes still remaining of the warm-up. I think I'm going to need a blinking minute here as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing. But just like, and if you want to drop a comment down below, that works as well. Helps us get into this wonderful algorithm of YouTube that I never fully understand. But if you could drop a comment underneath as well, that would be absolutely amazing. But likes first, please, as well, as it would be absolutely awesome. So thank you so much. If you can, just like the broadcast. That would be epic here as well. 1 minute 50, Zach. What do you reckon? All or nothing? Race 4.
Yeah, well, it's one of the two because it's race 4. There's no in between. We don't have a meh race. We either have wow, what a race, or it's one or the other really.
So what do we
usually
think?
It's the prior. See, I don't know, because if we're going off trends, I so far we've peaked at race 1.
Mm-hmm.
Race 2 and 3, too many incidents for my liking, and I think if we're continuing with that pattern, race 4 is going to follow that pattern essentially. So I'd say we're more leaning towards the meh side of things, but I'm happy to be sort of surprised because our top 9 is all the quick guys essentially. There's no back marker that's getting reverse grid pole or anything like that. Everyone inside the top 9 has got a chance of winning that race.
Absolutely.
So, essentially, everyone is where they should be, which is what race 1 was, because everyone was sorted by their qualifying times. So, hopefully, it's going to be an emulation of race 1. If not, I don't think I'm going to rate race 4 very highly.
Okay, well, we're going to find out here as well. 25 seconds. I'm going to say this is the second week in a row people wasn't clear. If you aren't clear about your picks, don't be surprised if James drops them. Look, I write them down, and then I have to go in every week and work out who scored what points, and how I need to add them all up. So if I've got, like, Shadows going, Rizzo, Holmes, go on, lad, how am I supposed to know which one he's picking? You know what I mean? Just say Rizzo, just say Holmes, or just say Bob the Builder. I don't really care, as long as I fully understand. You can have Bob the Builder if you want.
Can I have double points if Bob the Builder wins?
Okay, and if he doesn't take to the grid, you can have a DNF for good health.
Yeah, but it's fine. So I went for Dan Hunt. So
okay. Right, here is the grid for race 4. John Sylvester, Steve Hefford, Lee Deemer, Tom Griffiths, Pete Van Gaal, Brian Holmes, Dan Hunt, Newman, Rizzo, Ayres, Bramer and Owens. I'm reading quick because they're getting onto the grid. Then you've got Cullinan, Sansom, Kellerman, Wright, Toon, Sampson, Littler, Morton, Barry, Siddons, Longo and Darren McLean. And then the last one here is Steve Hansford. Right, I managed to get through that one. And now the only time I do speed read it, and then take the time getting onto the grid. So there we go. Right. All or nothing in race 4. The lights are going to be coming on. John Sylvester on the pole position. Can he get away here as well? He can. Steve Hefford manages to come over. He's looking to cover off Lee Deemer straight away. Is Hefford. He goes to the inside now, comes back out onto the normal racing line. John Sylvester is through. Hefford's almost lost it. He's going to get a run on Sylvester, mind you, as well. Here he goes on the outside of turn 1. PVG's off the side of the circuit here as well, but it is all about Steve Hefford and Sylvester as they go running into turn 1 now. Turn 2, sorry. Into Griffins they go. It is going to be Hefford out in front. It is. Steve Hefford's taken the beginning. What's happening further back here as well? Tom Griffiths, Brian Holmes, Ches Rizzo, Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres all in a fight. But PVG is off the side of the circuit right at the beginning of the race there, Zach. Not looking good for PVG.
No, definitely not. But it is looking good for the majority of those inside the top 7. The only person to lose a place is John Sylvester. The rest of them are up. So beautiful done. And, well, Pete Newman on the inside of Jamie Ayres as well puts himself into 7th place. You've then got Ewan Bramer getting himself into the mix with Jamie Ayres as they run their way up over the crest. But, yeah, plenty of action to talk about in the opening laps. And, well, so far so good for our leaders.
Yeah, they've opened up 1.8 seconds at the moment as Steve Hefford over the guys behind with Sylvester. Griffiths is baiting a cork in a bottle. Brian Holmes is having a go here as well. I've got to be honest, Holmesy's look quick all evening. Dan Hunt's in the wall. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There's nowhere to go. There's brakes in the background. They're round in the background. Oh. Well, that happened. Oh.
I don't even want to look. I'm not gonna look. I'm just not looking.
Watch Dan Hunt. He gets it all wrong. I think he may have got a nudge from Rizzo. Yeah, Hunt. Then it all goes in as well. Then everybody else. Watch Fiona Siddons come round hard on the brakes. She's trying to get the car stopped. Everybody in the process here as well managed to get it, unfortunately. But I tell you what, Hunt, Ayres, Cullinan, Kellerman, Wright, Sanson, Tooney, Morton, Barry, Siddons, Longo, all got caught up in that incident. And now we have got, oh, somebody's bumper's gone off. What? I'm not joking. There was a bumper on that straight, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, no, straight!
No.
Kellerman and Barry!
How have you done that? How? Oh.
How?
And he comes back onto the circuit as well.
Right.
How does that happen? Kellerman. Oh, wow. Look at his car.
As Morton's on the brakes.
Disappointing.
Bramer and Newman running side by side, going into turn 1 at the moment. Bramer's going to try the outside run. It hasn't worked all evening. I'm not going to lie. He's the only man that managed, I think, briefly to make it work. Sylvester has got past Hefford. Here we go. Ayres is in the pit. Sampson, Hunt, Sansom, Kellerman, Toon, Barry, McLean and Hansford. Already, Zach, not the greatest start to race 4. We've lost some of the grid already.
Yeah, we have. And by some, he means a lot. We've lost, confirmed to have lost Jamie Ayres, Samson, Hunt, Sansom, Kellerman, Toon, Barry, McLean and Hansford. Andy Littler's not on the lead lap, but you'd assume that he is out of this race as well. So, yeah, that's a start to race 4.
Yeah.
Not a very good one, but it's a start.
No, for once you've got a DNF.
Well, no, I've already had a bad... my first 2 races were a bit meh.
Yeah, but you didn't have a DNF. Oh, yes, you did. You Rizzo. In race 1. 2 DNFs tonight, Sweeney. Oh, big boy. That's going to not help. As Hefford and Sylvester run side by side, going down the corner now. 10 minutes on the clock here. I think it's going to be another 6-lap race. Hefford fighting it out. Holmes is in there. Griffiths is in there as well. Newman's in the background, 2.5 seconds back. There he is in that Pure Sims machine. Brian Holmes is going to have a go here as well. Holmes is going to have a go. Is he going to try and take the outside line round Sylvester? Brian Holmes, you big, brave Billy man there as well. There was a word on the end that I wanted to put on that, but I chose not to, purely because of the PG rating. The PG rating.
Keep it child-friendly, James. We're on a broadcast.
I was, but I was in the flow of my poetry, Mr. Sweeney, and then it all kind of went a little bit Pete on because I realised...
The BBB?
The BBB, yeah, Billy Big Bananas.
That one.
Billy Big Bananas.
He's got big bananas now, has he?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Oh, dearie me. What a race. What an evening. I'm not going to lie. If these guys are sweating, I am literally sweating out in here at the moment.
Big bananas are sweating,
My
are they?
big bananas are completely...
Get yourself together. I'm just gonna leave him, guys. You can just. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit here in shame. You see what I have to put up with, guys? Pete Newman, by the way, is on the inside of John Sylvester, Ewan Braham, I should say, trying to find his way past. That was a move that definitely required some big bananas from the Pure Sims driver. And it continues as they rise up over the crest. Just give him a minute, he'll come round. He'll come round.
Oh, dear. Oh my God.
Are you back? Are you alright?
I don't know if back's the word. Oh man.
And so the sponsor in the background of that shot as well does not help the case either.
No, I wouldn't mind, but I literally do. I am sitting there crying at the moment. Steve Effort. Oh.
Welcome to JPBroadcasting, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time, we don't blame you if you try and leave.
Oh, don't. Right, we're going all serious now. That's it then. We're gonna put ourselves in line with other broadcasters. The chat, you're gonna get ignored for the next 7.5 minutes as Hefford and Holmes with Griffiths and Sylvester go over the hill. They're coming down side by side into the chase now. Holmes on the inside. He has made it past Steve Hefford.
He has. Yeah, nice move. And Rhea, she's doing all right this evening. I don't know. I'm not worried. Nah, I'm Zach Sweeney, and I'm going to beat Rhea Raccoon by the end of this season. I'm not stressed. But Brian Holmes has been driving really, really well tonight. I have to give it to him. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out. He's been doing really well. Fair play to him. Of course, he's got 3 huge names to contend with, but he's doing all right.
He is. He is doing all right as well. So well done to Holmesy on lap 4 there. Steve Ever tucked in right behind him. My pick's running in second. So is Phil's. Holmes is for David Ayres and Rhea. Ches Rizzo, unfortunately, Shadow is down in 15th. He is still running. Holmes going side by side now through turn 1 with Steve Hefford on that outside line. Hefford's going to look for the inside of the cut in here as well. He's going to force Brian Holmes to lift off. Is he going to allow him through? Hefford is not close enough this time around. Onto that cut and they go. That braking uphill, turning left at the same time, Zach, is not the most easiest braking zone here on this circuit.
It is not. None of them are. This circuit isn't easy. It's punishing. It will chew you up. It will spit you out. It will chew you up again, and then spit you out again, just for good measure. It's just that constant cycle. It's just not fun. And these guys, respect them for being in it all the way through, despite the hardships, despite the ups, despite the downs. They've just been top class, as they always are, because it's the UkSimracers MX5s. Of course, overtaking opportunities here are limited. As I say, you've got turn 1, turn 2, and the chase. The rest of the circuit which were 6.14 kilometers, of which you're probably only spending maybe a kilometer worth of time actually setting up an overtake. Also, obviously that's long run, so maybe 2 kilometers or whatever. So 2/3 of the circuit is basically out of bounds for any realm of overtaking opportunity. Of course, you've got this long run here, where Steve Hefford is probably going to mount a challenge for the lead, but you spend a lot of time just playing the chase.
Here he goes. He's going to max out at that 1:34.35 mark where we did talk about it earlier on. 5 miles an hour that draft gives you. Hefford leaves the line just in case. Tom Griffiths is trying to get past Brian Holmes as well. Through the chase they go down into Murray's now for what will be the second to last time. I think there's only going to be 2 laps remaining here, Zach. I don't think they're going to get the 7. I think it is only going to be 6 once more. But let's see how this works out between all 4 of these cars currently here tonight. It's going to be a tough last couple of laps here, I think, for all of these drivers. But to be honest, to complete laps here at Bathurst is an achievement. To complete 4 races totaling all of 24 laps is an achievement. Obviously race 3 and race 4 has been a little bit chaotic. I think race 2 wasn't much better either. No, race 2 was the chaotic one. So for these 4 drivers, a great job. Hefford's on the inside. He's been given a nudge from Brian Holmes. Holmes has got that inside line. They've swap paint again. We're going on board with Griffiths. Griffiths is going to have a run with Holmes. Holmes is just to the left-hand side of us here as well. Up into the cutting we go. Holmes is on the inside. Griffiths is on the outside. Griffiths backs out. Holmes takes it. He's going to hit the wall. Oh, Brian Holmes nearly caused chaos for all the people behind him there, Zach. He nearly hit that wall as well.
He did, and I think maybe it's a panic thing that people are pressing their wiper button. Maybe they're like about to go into a wall and just their thumb slips or something. I don't know. Maybe they're clearing dust off their screen or whatever it is. But yeah, it is just comical to see people pressing their wiper button. Anyway, we've got John Sylvester fighting away with Pete Newman. And yeah, these guys are getting millimeters away from the barrier through every single corner. So yeah, as you say, to do it over the course of 24 laps this evening is astonishing. That's 24 times through Skyline, through the S's, 24 times through Forest Elbow. And for the most part, people have kept it nice and clean. I'd say sort of 80% cleanliness over the course of this race. Maybe 75, let's call it. We've had a couple of incidents. But yeah, these guys are the top dogs, right? And that's coming from Sweeney Dog, all right? It takes one to know one. Anyway, we've got Brian Holmes mounting a counter-attack for the race lead, pulls himself to the left-hand side. It's the outside for the kink through the chase, but then the inside for the chicane. Steve Hefford's got his work cut out for him if he wants to maintain this one. Tom Griffiths as well would love a sniff at a race win. Inside line for Brian Holmes. He takes the lead back. 1 lap to go in Bathurst.
1 lap, and it's 4 cars now with Newman in the background as well. They are literally separated, the 1, 2, 3, 4 by not even a second. Holmes goes on the defensive. That throws out Hefford here as well. He's going to lose that inside line to Tom Griffiths as they come into Hell's Corner. Holmes there pulls across the side of the circuit. He gives Griffiths a little bit of draft. Now Steve Hefford's got to decide if he's going to keep his nose in. Well, he does. He throttles it now. He's on the grass. Steve Hefford is almost down. He is down to 5th place. Can he hold on? He's going to pick up the draft from Newman in front. Newman's going to have a go at Griffiths, but here he comes. The Pete Newman, the top dog, the new Swing Dog's daddy, goes into 2nd place here as well. Over Griffiths, over Bramer, over Hefford. And Pete Newman now put himself in with an opportunity of taking this win.
He has done. Pete Newman's been on fire as well. Again, he had the bad luck in race 2, but since he's been really up there. And again, just doing what Pete Newman does best. To be fair to him, that adjustment from the front-wheel drive Clios on a Monday to the MX5s on a Tuesday, that's a big shift to have, and obviously doesn't give him a lot of time to practice with. So the fact he has that transition really nicely from one to the other just goes to show how capable of a driver he is. And he does it week in, week out. He's never off the pace. Right now, he's in with a shout of yet another podium finish and, well, potentially yet another race finish to add to his tally. Half a lap left to go and 1 more key overtaking opportunity to round off this lap as well. Not long left in it. And I mean, I'd say it's between Holmes, Newman, and Griffiths. I don't see anyone else really getting in the mix. 3 cars, all in with a chance of winning. Is it Holmes? Is it Newman? Is it Griffiths? Could we be surprised? Could it be Bramer, Hefford, or Sylvester? But, well, we've got one more straight at chicane and a corner to find out.
Yeah, the problem is for Steve Hefford, he needs that draft. He needs that draft from Griffiths. Griffiths comes to the middle of the circuit, still doesn't get it. That's going to allow Bramers on the run. Now we're going to watch back from Griffiths what's going to happen up front here as well. The 118, the 58. It's going to be 118 here for Pete Newman. Somebody's tried to jump on the left-hand side. You are going to be in the way. Who is that? Oh, the Newman's on the grass. Here he comes, Tom Griffiths. Here he comes, Griffiths. Griffiths is going to have a go. We're watching back from Steve Hefford now as well. It looks like Hefford's got it all a little bit wrong. They're going to be 3 wide onto the run. But here comes Brian Holmes. Here comes Holmes. Here comes Holmes. Gets it. Oh!
I think we all need a breather after that one.
Holmes, Griffiths, Newman, Bramer, Hefford and Sylvester. Not even a second. I don't even believe it wasn't. It was 6 tenths over the line. I need to go back because I've got a funny feeling I missed Alexander Longo's run as well. Because he finished near enough side by side, I believe, with Lee Dima. I think Dima did pip him. Oh my dear. Oh my dear. I'm sorry if I've just literally deafened anyone here as well. I think Zach's probably turned me down at that point. But Lee Dima, Alexander Longo. Oh, Longo. You filthy block on Lee Dima there as well. Oh, we'll watch the ending of the front guys once more. I just want to see this here. And how close was this? Dima got it. I think he pipped him by not a lot, Zach. I've got to be honest. I think Dima got that inside line. You can see the run down onto the line now from these guys. Dima and Longo. Dima just picked him. But that front ending, it all went wrong for Newman. And then here comes Griffiths to have a go as well. Almost trying to send it 3 wide into that final corner. If that was an official, all 5 of them would have been gone. Then Brian Holmes, then Tom Griffiths, then Holmes. Oh. Deary me, even I get excited the second time around as well. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, here are your results. Here once more. I haven't written these down yet as well, so I'm going to do that in the process. But to be honest, I think that was just one of the best endings. That was almost a Mick Barry moment there. Brian Holmes, Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman, Evan Bramer, Steve Hefford and John Sylvester. The best racing on the final laps, the final corners of Bathurst I have ever seen. Absolutely unbelievable. Your top 6, Miles Owens in 7th, Pete Van Gaal 8th. Roger Morton took an AM win as well, so well done to Roger Morton here this evening. Then Lee Dima in the mix. He just pipped Longo down to the line. Cullinan, Rizzo, Siddons did manage to hold on to the 3rd in the podium. Andy Littler, and then I think we're going to hit the outs here as well. We are. I think Dan Hunt, Sir Alan Toon, Martin Sampson, Charles Kellerman, Jamie Ayres, Colin Sansom, Mick Barry, Darren McLean and Steve Hansford all did not finish that race. I don't know what to say, to be honest, about that race. Jack Osborne, what a race that was, boys. Take a bow indeed. It was incredible. David Ayres, brilliant. That was awesome. Well done. From stream point of view, Griffiths looked to be leaning on Holmes a ton, really physically pushing him wide. Rhea, let's face it, that run down to the line, it could have been any one of them 5. As soon as Newman and Holmes made that mistake, it was going to be any one of them, Zach, wasn't it? It brought all 5, all 6 cars even within a second. It was 6 tenths between 6 cars. 6 tenths. between each car. It doesn't matter if they were leaning, pushing, shoving, nudging. 6 tenths between 6 cars. It was incredible.
It was. I mean, race 4, laps 1 to 5, 5 out of 10. Lap 6, 12.
Oh.
Like, that run to the line is one of the best I've seen in a long time. Great respect. Chaos carnage all the way through. And to be fair, what more did we expect from Bathurst? Like, it's Bathurst. Like, yeah. I don't really know what more to say. The racing spoke for itself. There's not really much professional insight that I can add, apart from the fact that that was nothing short of amazing.
It was.
Take a bow, guys.
It was. It was. I've got to be honest. Some of the best I can't even think. Maybe that Mick Barry moment in Interlagos might have just got trumped there as well. I can tell you that one. It was just absolutely unbelievable. And I think we can all safely admit, guys, if you haven't hit the like button by now, why? That's all I'm going to ask. Why haven't you hit that like button here as well on this broadcast? Go and hit that like button. That is going to be some of the best racing you are ever going to see on iRacing, on any broadcast channel, on any network, on any TV, in any league, in real life, IRL, whatever it's going to be for racing. That is going to be the best ending you're ever gonna watch. Formula One hasn't even got a stitch on that. Touring cars, no. Australian supercars, no. NASCAR, no. It's just got no when it comes down to that ending. Incredible. Brave words there, Zach, I know.
Yeah, shots fired. Because we broadcast all of them.
We do.
Yeah.
I have never seen a 5-car ending in 6-car ending in touring cars between 6 temps. I've never seen it in NASCAR. Well,
you're watching the wrong NASCAR then.
Maybe I might have done, but you can't. I think the problem is the 6 temp ending in NASCAR is going down the final corner and they're in processions of 3 and 3. That was 6 cars going down into the final corner. Incredible. I've got to be honest, it was incredible. So there you go. Any final words from you, Mr. Sweeney, before I end this tonight?
Same time next week?
Absolutely. We are going on from Bathurst. We are heading to Hockenheim. Will it produce the same racing we've had here this evening? Well, time will tell. Let's see what happens. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the bells as well. It's been an incredible evening of racing, but it's time for me and Zach to go and have a lie down. Zach needs to go to bed, bless his little cotton socks. But as always, guys, from myself, James Parfitt, alongside Zach Sweeney, up here in the JPB booth, you all take care, have a great week. And as always, you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.
You